What's going on, yo? What's going on, yo? This is the Oster 40. Do a little live thing, man. I'm talking about this Draymond and Martin little beef they got going on. So once again, this is the Oster 40, man. I would like for you to subscribe, comment, follow, and share. Or you can put your phone up here in the corner right here and just you know, um do your thing, scan your phone and be rocking out. But I'm gonna talk about this Draymond thing with this with you know, uh Kenyon. I think this thing got mixed up in a way, man, to be honest with you. I think that I think they kind of mixed it up, man. But I want to have some. I want to laugh about this because this is funny, man. They going real far with this stuff, man. Um, I don't know if people understand what they mean by individual achievements opposed to team achievements, and there is a difference between individual achievements and team achievements. So I'm gonna play this clip. Please me on react to this clip, man. We play through this clip and react to this clip and see what's up.
And first of all, like, do you guys think Kenyon Martin was a better player than Draymond Green?
We talked a little bit before the pod. I hold the older guys to a different stand. Like, they're on a higher pedestal for me. So I'm more biased toward the olds because I was a kid growing up. I watched them and I idolized them. So Kenyon Martin, to me, like I said, he was like an animal. He was animalistic. He was very impressive, explosive. He did a lot of things. Of course, as a kid, the dunks, I never got a chance to play against him much or with him toward the end of his career. I never got to see him in his prime as an adult, so I don't know. But the eye test to me, I would say,
Because he has more hops?
I just all around, I just thought the things that he did, not saying Draymond doesn't impact the game. Maybe he's more entertaining. Like if you're looking at a John Morant and a Donovan Mitchell, you know what I'm saying, like that type of thing. It was more entertaining to watch Kenyon Martin. So I would think he was more skilled and more talented. I think he was a more talented of a player. Draymond has really stretched and done a lot for his career for a guy that I think has limited like ability. Like he's done an amazing things for a guy that's not super athletic, super fast, that can shoot. Like for him, he is the ultimate super role player. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the Hall of Fame superstar role player. So
There ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And that's the difference between individual achievements and team achievements, individual success and team success. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny when people you move the goalpost when you ask one question and you change the goalpost to another question. You bring in accolades when it's about we talking about physicalness and you bring in accolades, you're just talking about one thing. So I think things get pulled out of proportion. And so we get to this point here where we got to break down accolades and achievements and all this. And like he said, when it comes down to the two people that come into the league and individual achievements, in Kenyon Martin, yes, 100% was a better player than Draymond Green for the role he had to do. For Draymond Green had a job. His job was to be over, aggressive in the era that there is now. So he basically played the perfect part. I mean, he had the best job because that was actually him. So he fit the role so perfect. It's uncomparable. You can't even compare it because they invented that role in Golden State. And he is the innovator of that role. The loud talker, the defense, the one that don't care about flagrant fouls. He the front man. He jump out there for all that because that's his role. I mean, that's his job. You get what I'm saying? Now, to me, Kenyon Martin and the Nets, he had a role when they draft him. You get what I'm saying? So they needed him to do what he had to do. See, that wasn't a job. It wasn't a job because he was the franchise player. His role was to get these guys and get them to the chip. And we're gonna try to win it, but we got to get there. And that's what he did. That's why they hired him. That's why they came and got him and said, "Yo, we need you to play the chairman." You know, we can get managers, we can get other people to handle the company, but we need you to be the head of the company, and we need you to get us here. We need this kind of ROI for the end of this year. We need to get 300 million at the end of this year. That's what we need, and that's why we came and got you from the Ivy League school and stuff like that, because we know that you can do it, and that's the difference.
You got to give him a lot of flowers and props, but honestly, there's a players that I watched growing up that I would say are really good defenders that I don't put Draymond in the conversation with.
I totally disagree, but go ahead, Paul.
All right, I'm gonna be completely honest with this. There's there's a lot of players. There's not a lot, but there's players who I would consider is better than me, but I'm ranked higher all time
By resume.
by resume.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of look at this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ranked higher all time than Penny Hardaway, but Penny Hardaway was fantastic. Like, he was like one of my
Yeah,
favorite
and I think his
players.
career got derailed by injury.
Derailed, but
Yeah.
Penny Hardaway and guys like Grant Hill and like they were
Yeah.
much more skilled. And maybe I probably did a little bit more when you look at the numbers and everything, but that's how I kind of look at this. Like, Dre is going to have like the accolades, more All-Stars, more
Playoff
championships.
success.
But like,
yeah.
if I just put both of these players on the television and I'm just scouting, the first time I'm ever seeing, I turn the volume all the way down. I mean, Kenyon Martin is fucking fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
he was the number one reason I had to play against him in his young days and his prime. Like, he was a lob threat, he was a defensive threat, he was intimidating, he ran the court. I mean, he did. And Draymond was good for what he brought to the Golden State, where they were good for what they both brought.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And that's my point. That's what I just explained. See, Draymond position. Let me break this down the right way, so I want the internet to go crazy. And y'all can go crazy if you want to. That's your prerogative. However, I break it down this way, man. Is that when you get to the league, and if you, like he said, if you put them together, Kenyon Martin, his role was to be the scorer, the number one on the defense, because you got to understand, this is how he came out of college. So this is why they actually draft him. See, and it's not taking nothing from Draymond Green, but Golden State had a situation already that was going on, and they was building up for the, championship team. Draymond came, and he fit the job. Like, he was qualified for that job. And because I explained this when I explained my position on Scottie Pippen, and people says, yo, Jordan had Pippen, this and that. I'm like, Jordan didn't have Pippen. I don't know what you're talking about. Jordan had Pippen. Pippen ain't come to Chicago as an all-star. He didn't come to Chicago as a superstar or Hall of Famer. What do you mean he had Pippen? Pippen was developed on the side of Michael Jordan. Like Draymond Green was developed on the side of Steph Curry. This is what great players do. Great players, like superstars, when they're on the court, they confuse the defense. The defense have to double team this type of superstar. One person can't guard this type of superstar. They just can't. It's just historically known. This is why they call it doubles. That's why they double and triple. Like, it's certain people, one person just can't guard. It's just a fact. Like Shaq. You know what I mean? AI, Kobe. I'm not saying one person can't guard them, because you got a good defensive people out there with exceptional defensive skills that can actually pull us off. but we're not going to play about it because in this era of the basketball, what Kenyon Martin is talking about, to the era when Draymond Green was talking about, we got to say and we got to stop playing like it's not a fact. The game has changed. It's not as physical as it was before. It's just not. That's the way they made it. So, with the load management, so this stuff can, no injuries. These people could, cause these guys is light in the ass. They don't take the physical part of basketball the way they take the actual game. This is why they don't be in the gym. This is why all of them look so skinny, tall. Some of them. And then when you see some of them, like Luka, you say he was overweight. Luka would have been at the perfect weight to play when they was playing. Yeah, he had to be at that weight. You got to sacrifice some stuff. There's a lot of slow people back in the days that's dominant. Seriously. So this is what he explained when it comes to Kenyon Martin and Draymond Green from the eye test from day one. See, they didn't draft Draymond Green to do what he did today. He innovated the role. Like he innovated. That was the role. That was the best role that he could play. He can't play the scorer. Not saying he can't score, but he wasn't needed to score. So he if I was Draymond, I'd have did the same thing. I'm like, why would I try to score? I'm just gonna be ahead, get my rebounds, get the ball to people. You know what I mean? I'm acting like a point guard forward, but I'm doing it because I'm getting the rebound. I'm gonna be the first passer. I'm getting that rebound. I'm a foul. They ain't gonna be out here doing none of this because the game ain't that physical. So I'm the most physical person in the game right now. And I know I got a job to do. I know that you talk to me on a regular day, I'm a cool dude, but in the game, I got a job to do. I work for Steph. And Steph worked for Kerr. And Kerr worked for the Golden Nuggets. This is a fact. Clay worked for Steph. All of them on that floor works for Stephen Curry. All of them. Because he's the superstar. He's the one that's getting the chips. He's the one that's doing this. He's the one that's throwing up 40, 50 points and 30 points every night when you need it. He's the one shooting up these threes, breaking records as he's, getting chips. He's the one with the evolution of the game, changing the game. Draymond Green is just a sidekick. And there's no problem with that. But this is just what Kenyon Martin and Paul Pierce is trying to explain to them. It's not about you garbage. We just had two different structural reasons of being on this team. You made your position. You literally made it because it wasn't a position before. See, me, I had a role to play. I came in here as boss man. So everybody around me is looking at what I'm doing. I happen to have a Jason Kidd, which would consider to be one of the best point guards, until Stephen Curry came and changed the game of basketball. Because before, it wasn't about point guards scoring. It wasn't no real dominant point guards that was actually scoring. The point guards was floor generals and defensive players. Some of them wasn't even that good on offense. They was better on defense. Facts. Like Greg Anthony. He was better on defense than offense. I forgot my man name. What was my man name? Avery Johnson. You remember they gave him a 3-point shot because he wasn't cool. He wasn't good. Well, defense, Avery Johnson was the beast. You get what I'm saying? So the game changed in basketball. That's just the way it is. It just really changed. So a lot of stuff get looked at a different way because the game been this way for a certain amount of time. So people, tend to think that.
And I'm saying, and I know Draymond is a more decorated because of the defensive players of the year, but listen here. K-Mark, if he had
a team like Draymond
had, I think they still win 4 championships.
I just don't remember ever in my life watching Kenyon Martin and think he was dominating a game.
But what I'm saying is that now to that point, I agree to a certain extent. So what I'm saying is that no, Kenyon Martin and them had a team, if you ask me, that was just like Golden State Warriors. If you really look at the teams, if you really see, people look at the way the game is played today, and then they compare the teams, and then they forget about it was different gameplay. So I'm not saying that Steph Curry wouldn't be doing what he's doing today if he was playing with Jason Kidd. No, but he's playing with Jason Kidd like this time. I don't know. To be honest, because there was damn good 3-point shooters back then. You get what I'm saying? So, but the game was different because, for the simple fact that everybody's not at the 3-point line. You ain't have centers at the 3-point line. You ain't have forwards at the 3-point line. You didn't have threes just sitting there. I'm talking about just literally sitting there. See, you didn't have that. It was pick and rolls and cuts and motherfuckers coming off of picks, coming up with 4-5 picks and then grabbing the ball. You had spot shooters. You had some could come off the dribble, you know. So Steph got all that in one. But the way the game is played now, he's allowed to be over there one-on-one. You know what I mean? You got the center over there. You got the floor spread it. So it's completely easy not to do what he's doing because it takes a lot of skills and accuracy to hit the shots. So I'm not saying that he's toply skilled. I'm just saying the gameplay, it would be structured different where if you don't have all that freedom to, you know, sit out there and do 5 to 6 dribbles and this and that, you know what I mean? Because it was predicated for down low, dropping the ball down, you know, dropping the ball. So the game has changed. When you got centers coming out shooting threes and, you know what I mean? You had some forwards shooting a three every now and then, but that was, you know, big shot ball. But that wasn't their thing. They didn't run to the 3-point line shooting no 3-pointers. Unless, you know, Dirk came in with that. You get what I'm saying? Like the real tall 7 foot with 3 points. You know, Turkoglu and all of them. You know what I mean? All the European players was coming in with, because that's how they play over there. You had, in the Europeans, you got 6, 8 point guards. That's why you think Dirk is so, why you think his handle is so nice? You're talking about what forward you know that can grab the ball and run up the court and give it. That's what Nick Young said. What forward you know can grab up the ball? And y'all for real, you sick, man. Come on, man. You couldn't watch these people play. Y'all had to just watch videos and clips and highlights. You had to see these games. Like, these are real games. If you see this game that's playing on the side, that's how the game used to be played. You see how many people was in the paint? You see how many people, who you see at the 3-point line? You see how many people was in the paint? Look at the lineup today. They're going to all be, the paint will be empty. You talking about defense? It ain't no defense. It's defense, but the game is too soft. You can't hit somebody too hard because it's load management. You got to understand it's an algorithm. They can't have you beating people up on the court and then having load management over here. That don't make no sense. Load management don't make no sense by itself. So they're not going to have you beat nobody up. So they're going to hold them and make, you know, if you touch somebody, it's this, it's that, it's what, you know, whatever. And then if you come over here, it's load management. So you can't win for lose. This is the NBA is how they designing it. This is a fact, man. For real, this is why the game changed.
That's crazy.
Ever.
You know,
that he dominated a game.
You know, watching
ever.
Cincinnati before. The reason why he's number one player.
Wait, what do you mean dominated the game? So you think Draymond dominated a game?
Defensively, yes. Draymond Green has dominated playoff games on defense.
Okay.
Where you're like, yo, this dude is everywhere.
What is your definition of dominating?
He's affecting the result of the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
By his
you
greatness.
are saying Kenyon Martin never reflected the result of a game defensively when you watched?
No, not in a dominant way.
When he was in New Jersey, when he was in Denver.
Listen. I don't know if everybody know basketball or, you know, I don't know, but I've never heard nothing like that before. I've never heard, in perspective, I've never heard a defensive player affecting the game, changing the game. Now, I've heard of a defensive play maybe affect the ending of a game. Someone did a good defensive play, but I never seen defense affect the outcome of a game. Offense affects the outcome of a game. People like Steph Curry will change the outcome of a game because people like Steph Curry can come back from 18 point deficit. That's 18 points. That's, you know, it's 6 shots for Steph, but for Draymond, it's 12. it's somewhere around 10, 12, like 8 to 12. It's somewhere around 8 to 12. If you're going by 2 points to get 18, you know what I mean? But Steph will pop threes. So offense change games. Defense of plays will change the outcome of a game. Like a defensive plays. Like say if you come down 3 times in a row or 2 times in a row, but the score got to be tied up or y'all got to be down 4 points and you do 2 good defensive plays. And you ain't do no defensive game. See, the thing about defense and the thing about, what Draymond do and what Kenyon Martin do. See, Kenyon Martin will change the effect of the game because they got to guard him on offense and defense. So he gonna block your shot, stop your shot, and then go down and score on you fast, like a 2. Kenyon Martin run a game. He run around like he a 2. He's accurate, level, he got massive aggression, but it's controlled. But he got offense too, though. That's the thing. This is why Kenyon Martin changes the game. Because he the one that come down here and to block your shot and run down and dunk the ball. You know what I mean? Or give it to kid and kid to come down and give it to you. Gotta remember they had kiddos, they had a good team. They had drafted the same kiddos, they had a damn good team. For real. So I don't know about that, man. Like, they got Keith Van Horn at one point. Man, you crazy. They had a house, man, and that's was rocking. So if you know, you know. So that's all he's saying. And when it comes down to personal accolades, it comes down to picking Draymond Green and Kenyon Martin, you got to understand Kenyon Martin came into the NBA like this. Draymond Green was made in the NBA after years and got like him. That's what my example of Scotty. The same example, Draymond Green is the same example of Scotty. Same thing. He was drafted there, not as no great, not as no Hall of Famer, not as none of that. He wasn't even looked at like that. He just came there because they had a good pick. He was a good player. He played defense in college and he do his thing. So you get on the team, you make it to the NBA, granted, 100%. You end up in a good situation. Majority of these sports, that's a team sport. Even if it's a singular sport, it's about situations. It's a situation thing. If you get the right situation, then you'll be in the door. Because there's some people that should be in the door, but their situation ain't good. Maybe people they deal with, maybe people that they associate with. The situation ain't good. If the situation happens, that's why some people's opportunists. Facts, 100%. Some people's are opportunists. They wait for a certain situation and they jump on it. It's nothing different than what a businessman do. Their situation is too. When the situation get right, a business start falling, they can come get it for cheaper because the situation changed. See, last year, it's a different situation. Y'all was rocking then. So it's the difference of how you come into the NBA. How you get drafted in is the first thing. People get drafted first round picks. They different than anything after a first round pick. Trust me. Anything after the first round pick, they different. That's why it's a first round pick. That's why the first round gets the most money. Because the first round is the road for this team to go to. This is their future. No team picks a non-future player as a first-round player. That will be completely stupid. It will be 100% stupid. That was you saying that nobody in college is good. If that's the case, Bronny James won't be here. So it really don't matter when you get in the NBA. I mean, what pick you is after the first 3 picks. You know what I mean? That's why people try to get their stock up and people's stock drop. Some seniors get in college and do 4 years and their stock will drop. Some will leave at 2 years or 3 years because their stock is at a certain place. And this is when they hot. Like I told you, that situation thing. Last year in college, you could have been a man, but you never know who's coming in here and you never know what's going to happen to you. So your stock might not be that worth it will be next year. So some people leave and come to the NBA while they hot. So anyway, but Draymond thing to me is that you got on a good team and you realize, oh, I play this part. I'm taking this job. Nobody taking this job. This is the only job. I got the scorers up there, the defensive players with the scorers. You got the tall centers. I can't be a a full center. You know what I mean? But it ain't no aggression. Ain't nobody on this team starting no shit. You know what I mean? I'm gangster. You know what I mean? I'm from Ohio. I'm from Cleveland or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm going to. I'm this, and it fit right into the role. But you got Uga, you got Andre Iguodala, you got Kaylee, you got all of them play D. So your job wasn't as hard as you kind of think it was. If you think about it deeper and go deeper about what they're saying, K Martin, he had his role was heavy. His role was heavy because he was a prospect. So his role was heavy. Like, that's why he was running around there going crazy from day one. From Uno, day one. He didn't have to develop. He came into the league develop. He had to develop to the NBA. But he came here fit for it already, ready. It wasn't no getting this part, getting that part. All it was sharpening his tools, getting stronger. Because he came in here with everything. That's why he was a first round draft pick. You can't deny that, y'all. Y'all got to keep that in there, and let's get real about it. You know what I mean? Let's not do that narrative with the rings and all that. All that's later on. That's all later on. There's a million people in a situation in the NBA that got a ring. If, believe it or not, they used to put people on certain teams like Barkley and Karl Malone and Drexler. They used to shift them around because they were so good. But the NBA was so good. Like, everybody was good. Everybody had good D. Because this is what it was. Every team had enforcers. But you still had to score. You had to get beat up. You battered and bruised to get these points. That's what it was. You had to get battered and bruised to get these points. And it was skillful because if you look at the history of the NBA, look at the points and the numbers and then the rebounds and what they was doing at that time, you would know. But they wasn't playing. Let's compare the numbers to these numbers. Forget the scoring, because the game is easy. Let's compare individual numbers to these numbers. And you will see. Because you'll go by the day, you'll say, oh, no, he got 25. Yeah, because the game is played a different way, but 25 was the real 25 back then. You got 25, you was that guy. There was only one person or two people maybe that was scoring 30 points in the same time in the same year. Maybe. And whoever those two people was, I guarantee they looked up as damn near God, like Kobe. I don't think Mitch Richmond ever averaged 30 at no point. Not for a season, at least. I'm trying to see who else reached the 30 mark on an average. And I'm not talking about centers. I'm not talking about centers like Shaq and them, because Shaq and them was up there. A large one. Yeah, David Robinson. But these are 7-footers. So we talking about just, like Jordans and AI. And you got to understand why AI is, we got to understand why these people is so culturally involved with basketball, because this is a transition time of basketball going from that game to the game they play now. And if you looking at basketball on TV, or if you got NBA Pass and all that, don't think what you see today you can talk about how it was played before, because the game is different. You can't even run down and run nobody over no more. Somebody hit you out here, you gotta go hit them. You gotta be special to get away with things and all that. They say nobody did it with the Jordan. They said Jordan had a special rule. Go look at the history of Jordan beefs in the NBA. Jordan had a beef with everybody in the NBA. Everybody. He damn near fought everybody in his time. He was like a Floyd Mayweather. Nobody liked Jordan, but they had to respect him. They had to. There's no way. They had to, because he show improved every night. Like Kenyon Martin, before these people got hurt, man, I'm telling you, this is why they was getting hurt. Because it was so physical on both ends of the court. You come down here, you got to be physical to play defense, because they come and throwing elbows and knees and, laying the ball up. And then you got to go down and you got to take all these hits to get a basket. You got to be down there banging, like for real, for real. There's no more post game today. Come on, man. There's no more basketball, man. And the thing about it, the only thing this thing did here is expose LeBron James. That's all it did. The era today, the way he played today, is just expose LeBron James. Now you see that he don't got a bag. Now you see he don't got a game. He don't got none of that. He don't got a signature move that he can just play with and do right now. I believe Jordan can come here right now and just do the fade all day and score at least at least 12 points a game. Let's get with this, man.
When he was in Cincinnati,
I don't think
I've
so.
actually played against his dominance.
I've
on
seen him
defense.
show.
Where you were like, yo, I don't know if I can
Pull
go
the
to the
shirt,
rack
dunk
right
him.
now because Kenyon Martin's there.
Yes.
Absolutely, bro.
Yes.
Absolutely.
fucking
I
right.
saw him like really like put the clamps on All-Star Antoine Walker in the playoffs. Like looks like, man,
He
this
guarded guards, like he guarded
guarded,
Kobe and
like,
shit.
yeah.
Like
He
he
would
guarded
switch
from
up on
Shaq
me,
to
like-
Kobe. Like he
But they
guarded.
brought
those
different
people
elements.
Draymond has
and-
guarded wings, and that's like kind of been his
Whoa,
thing. Is
time
that
out, time out,
he's
time out. Say what now? Say again.
his thing is that he's a
Yeah, what you
switchable
say?
big. Like that's
sure.
that's his calling card.
I understand.
Switchability means that you're guarding.
being switchable and
wings
having
at
your
times.
your
No, his
main.
primary assignment is not.
It ain't
wings.
gonna be Kawhi Leonard. Like Kenyon Martin would be the guy if in his prime they'd be like you guarding Kawhi Leonard. I don't think Draymond was. They ever said yo.
So I think Draymond
They
Green.
put Clay. They put Clay on. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say before you?
Now you see the kind of defensive play here. These are the NBA people telling you who's on the court with him. He's telling you he's not that kind of defensive play. He's more of a. He got a job. He's more of a like he got to put on his uniform to go to work. See the thing is, Kenyon Martin is naturally aggressive. Like this is just him. It's not a job. I'm not saying Draymond is not naturally aggressive, but I don't think he is. That's why Kenyon Martin said he's calculated. See, when you get called out, this how you respond. If someone call you out, like Draymond ain't been getting called out, he keep it under the rug. But if you get called out like this how you respond. But this is what Kenyon Martin will do if you ask him a question. It's what I would do if you ask me. I'll give you the answer. I won't say nothing because it ain't none of my business. But if you ask me the question, then I can give you an answer. So this is what he's saying. You calculate it. So nobody is changing their defense because you're there. Because they don't never know what you're gonna do. See, Rodman is different. Kenyon Martin is different. They know what they're gonna do. They know for a fact what they're gonna do when you come down here. Everybody knows. I don't care who you are. They're gonna do the same thing to everybody. See, Draymond is different. See, it depends on who you are. Then he'll do some BS to you. Depends on who you are. Let's get with the rest of this. I mean, I never get to
Say this about Draymond. I just want to give this up. When I think, and Draymond's a great defender and everything, but like, this is what I think about like all-time defenders. When your defender is all-time and we say we're not going to our star because that defender's on it. This is our star. But you know what? We're going to go to our second star tonight because he's guarding him tonight. And I've seen that with certain players. Not with Dre and not with Kmart, though. Mm-hmm. But, like, when I talk about these defenders, like when Rodman would guard people, they'd be like...
he's limited. Even the star player didn't feel comfortable. He would defer more.
Yeah, well, like when you got Gary Payton, we're going to come off the ball a little more today. Like Pippen, we're like, we're going to change up the offense tonight.
Yeah.
I never felt that way with these two. I think they're great, but it didn't give me that. But then again, I'm talking about the all-time top five, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, you see what he mean? You see how good Kenyon Martin is in this time? It's going to explain a lot of things that Draymond is shooting out there because his narrative, people go by the narrative today and they will believe what they hear today. They don't have to see nothing today. So, what he just said is, even though Kenyon Martin was a monster beast and you were scared coming at it because you thought that what he would do to you, can you imagine him? They not thinking about Kenyon Martin. They're only thinking about certain other defenders. So this is how the league could. So imagine Kenyon Martin is like this, and there's the whole league that's more aggressive on defense than him. Can you just imagine the league now? Be seeing Kenyon Martin, they can say, "Oh, you're saying this, you're saying that. Oh, stop." Boom, boom. Now he's not in his thought when he get on the court. He know what he's gonna do down low and all that. But these people that he said, you got Ben Wallace's, you got some people, man. Man, I can name for you got some people that this is what they do. You had like enforcers on teams. This is literally what they do. Come off the bench. This for real. 6 men. That's why the 6-man award is so important. Because some 6 men is enforcers. They're not even thinking about 6-man awards. That is not their job. Their job is to come in here and give him the hardest foul you can possibly give him that's under restriction. And you can go a little over too. You can catch a flagrant. That's what he might get paid for it. As long as he can get that superstar out the game, kicked out, you can aggravate him, get him kicked out. This is why Dennis Rodman was so good, because he's a natural. He's a natural. This is Dennis Rodman. He in everybody's face. He's strong. He's gonna do all that stuff that he's doing all of that, falling down with you know. Look at Draymond, look at Dennis Rodman, and you see where you get the floor work from. Seriously, I mean, because but see, Dennis Rodman did it in basketball. Draymond doing it outside of basketball. See, what the shit he do is just being a bully. Dennis Rodman wasn't a bully. He didn't pick on people. He aggravated people in the game. He didn't pick on you. Dennis Rodman wasn't no like go and fight you and all that. He didn't get in a lot of fights. He got in a lot of scuffles because you know he'd be tangling up with people and doing all that. You know, like a boxer, you do a lot of bullshit when he tangled up with you. He know how to, you know what I mean, pull you down and just aggravate you for the whole night. Because he's going to do it. This is him. He's going to do it 82 games. Seriously, 82 games. Then it's about everything. He's going to laugh at you. He's going to look at you, pat you on the ass, kiss at you. He's going to do all kinds of shit. He's going to have lipstick on. Then going to have gray hair, pink hair, blue hair, sometimes rainbow. Dennis Rodman, that's just Dennis Rodman. But he's a natural. And those are the ones that you would think about. Oh God, we gotta play Chicago. It's fucking Rodman. Here we go. I asked KG. I know everybody felt the same way about Dennis Rodman. Barkley, Shaq. They hated him because he's a fucking asshole on the court, man. For real, man. He's a pest. A real pest. So times is different, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like it is today. It's a little bit different.
Felt that way with these two. I think they're great, but I didn't give me that. But then again, I'm talking about the all-time top 5, in my opinion, defenders. Are they in the all-time defenders? To me, yes, they are. But I don't know what number that is.
I think since I basically, like, I would say the last 25 years, I think Draymond Green's one of the 5 best defensive players.
I don't agree with that.
In the NBA.
I don't agree with that.
KG, Duncan, Kawhi, Draymond, Dwight Howard. To me.
Well, Ben Wallace is not in there.
I think
Hey, yo, did y'all peep that laugh? Yeah, hold on. Yeah, this is funny. He had to laugh at this dude, man. Yo, I swear that he had to laugh at him because that was crazy. I think that poor Pierce really wanted to be like, yo, come on, man, you really tripping right now. Like, I swear to God, I thought that's what he really wanted to say. Like, yo, you is tripping right now. You bugging out, yo. You got to hear this laugh, though. This laugh was cold. That was a cold-ass
5
laugh.
best defensive players.
I don't agree with that.
In the NBA.
I don't agree with that.
KG, Duncan, Kawhi, Draymond, Dwight Howard. To me.
Well, Ben Wallace is not in there.
I think Draymond Green's a better defender than Ben Wallace.
Okay.
This motherfucker.
I don't know about that.
I mean, there's some other defensive player of the year
Ben
guys.
Wallace dropped. He blocked Shaq.
Yo, listen, man. This guy, this is a video right here on the side. Look at that video. So Ben Wallace when he stopped Shaq from dunking. Talking about, you know how strong Shaq is? Yo, y'all don't really understand what defense is in the game of basketball, NBA basketball. Y'all don't know what defense is. They would have called the foul. I mean, they would have called like some kind of whatever he'd probably got a flavoring for this shit. But they really don't understand how strong Shaq is and how big Ben Wallace. They don't understand this. See, now Ben Wallace was more like a Draymond Green, but he just was a center. If you want to compare somebody he's got a better defense than Ben Wallace. Yo, these guys is just crazy. Because listen, at one point in basketball, it was most definitely, defense brings offense. You understand what I mean? Not defense change the game, because you can't change the game just with defense. You gotta score points. That's what the game is about, scoring points, putting the ball in the basket. It's not is secondary to defense, but when you play in the game, it comes like reverse engineering, where if you got a good defense, if you can stop them from scoring, and then you can score. This is why teams have scorers and defensive players like Golden State Warriors. When you get the right situation going, you can win a chip. You don't gotta have 5 stars to win a chip. That's why LeBron loses, because he try to stack teams and all scorers, and he don't know what he's doing. They let him run it. They let him run it. You see what happened? You know, this is a fact, though. Y'all can look at it. You can look at it any way you want to look at it. Oh, you LeBron, yo, okay, whatever. But the fact is, you stack teams and you lose. I can give you a bunch of teams that did this and lost. I'm talking about from back in the days, coming up now. For real, for real. I remember all of them went on Houston. I think all of them went on Houston. Barkley and all of them in the end of their career. You know what I mean? And they try to do it together. You can't. Y'all got too many Titans on here. Y'all do too many things. So that's not going to work out. Level things out and it works. Chemistry, it works. You level it out. You get a good one of this. You get one of them. You know what I mean? Like Golden State. We got Andre Iguodala coming off the bench. This nigga getting MVP. He was always a defensive player. In Philly, he was always that. That's why they got him, because they know they needed defense, because they was kind of light in the ass. But as long as you got some good defense and some scrappers, remember Livingston? You got some scrappers, then you good money. Livingston was my guy too. Anyway, you know, come to think, that was I don't know what happened to Livingston, man. I ain't seen him in a minute. What happened to him, man? Where the hell did he go? That was my guy though. They sleep on Livingston. He's come off that bench cracking, real rap though. But anyway, Golden State had a real good team for this era. Shit. That was like in Chicago in the 90s. For this era, you bugging the fuck out. Golden State had a good team for this era of basketball. That's why I knew Shea and them was going to win, because they got a good team for this era of basketball. I'm not comparing them to back in the era, because they won't win nothing. They too light in the ass. But for this era of basketball, they got a damn good team. That's why Butler smacked this nigga LeBron. Like, you listen. You can do what you want to do in basketball in this era. It's open. Just come in here and be able to dribble. It's open. Y'all let LeBron come in here and do this shit for 20-something years. Yo, it's open. At one time, LeBron was good, though, but not like good. Not good. LeBron was never good as the hype that they gave him. That's a fact.
Yo, he dominated. Yeah, like he
blocked the Shaq. If you block the Shaq,
that's the Showtime Lakers only lost one game, and Detroit beat them because of Ben Wallace.
I understand that.
Most dominant player of all time.
Draymond Green he's basically quarterbacking Golden State's defense in their best years.
Yeah,
switching. He's everywhere on the court.
Listen to this.
Yo, no, stop. Yo, this dude, I don't know what's wrong with this dude. Draymond Green is not quarterbacking the team. He could be the best running back or the best wide receiver, the best cornerback, center, tackle, left and right. What's that? The end, I forgot that last one I can't get. But anyway, you know what I mean? But the quarterback will always be Steph Curry. I don't know what this dude is talking about. Steph Curry is the quarterback. Remember this. Draymond played defense, so he's on the other side when we trying to score here. Steph Curry is the quarterback. Draymond Green could be the defensive head manager or whatever it is that run the whole defense, because that's in football. So that's why I want to give y'all an example of what's going on, because y'all can't understand it in basketball. See, but in football, defense and offense is separate, and it's two different teams. You will really, if ever, seen in professional football, you would really, if ever, seen an offense and defensive player spontaneously playing in the game. So anyway, that's a better way to explain it. So now you understand the difference between defense and offense when it comes to basketball. Even though it's played on the same platform and you don't have to switch in and out. In football, we understand defense and offense very well. We never mix it up. And you shouldn't mix it up in basketball unless you have a two-way player. If he's a defense and an offense player, that's the only way you can say that this guy can actually change the game. He can get a good defensive play for the game at the end, You know what I mean? Because you get good defense play early on, and you can make up for that. It have to be at the end, and you might get a like Jordan got the rip off of Karl Malone at the end of, you know what I mean, when time was running down. Because truth be told, if it was today's time, he'd have got a foul. And Karl Malone went to the line, and 9 out of 10, they would have lost. But when basketball was basketball, a little contact, and you slipping, and I snatched that ball because it was all ball, but they'd have caused some risk. Like this stop with Ben Wallace. If this would have been today's time, that would have been a crazy flagrant foul. And that was all ball. That was all ball. So you got to understand the difference in the curve in the game. And you can't pinpoint things. You got to, every time you talk about different players, it's a curve to it. Especially when you go from back to now. It's a real curve, y'all.
Always in the right spot.
I think Draymond is the greatest defender of this new era of the type of basketball.
Sure.
Because of the switching, because he can go all 5 positions. I don't think you can put...
Just because you can block a shot or two, that don't mean you're a rim protector, Gil. Dwayne Wade was the leading block at his position. Is he a rim protector? No. Just because you block shots don't mean you're a rim protector.
So what is a rim protector then?
Wemby is a rim protector. Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis, Giannis.
Is LeBron a rim protector?
No. If I'm driving to the basket, I'm not looking for him. Ain't nobody fearing LeBron. They driving to the basket. If you ain't chasing me down from behind, I could block a shot, but I didn't look at myself as a... Marcus Camby on our team was more of a rim protector.
So when we drove to the layup,
Y'all
were you
do-
capable enough to keep us from making layups?
Yes.
Y'all feared me. Y'all thought I was going to knock you on your ass. That's what kept y'all from coming in there.
Time with Shaq. Who didn't have a hard time with
Ben
Shaq?
Wallace did well with Shaq.
Tim Duncan, Ben
No,
Wallace,
but
you name them, KG. Shaq gave all of those guys
the
hell.
switches were
That's just a
different
guy.
then. You couldn't switch because when you switch, we're going to this the next 10 times. We're not... Okay, we got Dirk and Draymond on him in the post. We're going to this the next... I don't care if he missed the 2 in a row. We're going to keep going to this.
Listen,
So
They're not
Draymond, you
doing
saying
that.
Draymond would be a, what are you saying? Like he'd be just an average defender? Yo, you guys are insane, bro.
listen,
Yo, y'all
I'm gonna go.
crazy.
I'm gonna take it back a little bit.
You guys are
take it back.
crazy, bro.
I don't think Draymond's wrong in this. Being from the same area, Kmart should probably show a little more love. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
No,
He has-
yeah, Draymond's the
He
greatest
has a
defender.
better. He has a better resume and more accolades than Kmart. And I think that's more because Kmart had issues off the court. He's a head case. He was known to be, I guess, quote unquote, like a knucklehead, what you would say. But he's just more like a problem in the locker room, maybe. And he probably didn't get votes. But I do think Kmart is I think he's a better player.
This new NBA...
200 players more
I'm
than
taking
Draymond? I don't
Draymond.
think so. And I will say to your point, but you're saying he's great at quarterback. That doesn't. You know, when we're talking about top 5 defenders,
Their defense has always been good since Draymond got there.
I don't just.
He's the common denominator is Draymond.
Hey,
You don't think
Chris,
that the team
let's
had
go.
him do
All right,
that?
but listen,
No.
the team. Let's not put team success and individual success the
It's
same thing.
Yeah.
And this is why they can only win arguments. Thank you, Paul Pierce. Thank you. Truth. Take the truth. Because the only way to win these arguments is you're bringing accolades. But we're not talking about accolades because anybody could have got on a good situation. There's some people that we don't even know walking around with rings. They did 9th, 10th, 11th man. When the last time you seen them on the court? They there. All these teams got 12 people. 12 on a roster. And if you're on that roster, when it's time to get a chip, you get a chip. Period, point blank. I don't care if you never touch the floor, but you're getting a chip. It's coaches out there that's got chips and assistant coaches that we don't even know. Trainers or whoever get the chip, whoever's down with the chips thing, a lot of people got the little chips what they do. So, but when it comes to this here, this is something different. You know what I mean? So it's individual stats. So it's not team stats. You know what I'm saying? Like Klay Thompson, 4-time champion, he on Dallas now. Do you see him getting a ring? So out of all these people up here, which one of them you think that they can take to another team and get a ring? That's the question. And it's only one. So now you understand the difference between team stats and individual stats. See, Steph and Kenya Martin should have been having this conversation. And I'm just talking about because not saying that he's better at that level. No, it's just that both of them is two-way players. Steph ain't got too much defense, but he can play defense. You know what I'm saying? That's not his thing. That's why Draymond have a big job when it comes to the defense. He got to do all this antics to free this dude up. He got to do it. And the way the game is played today, Steph could do the rest. You run past Draymond to get a hard-ass pick on Draymond, you know Draymond going to look out for him. And Steph could do the rest. Steph good off the ball, on the ball. Like, come on, man, for real. Anybody could have been Draymond when you got Steph on your team. So you telling me Kenyon Martin couldn't be on the team and they couldn't get no chips? You telling me Giannis couldn't have been down there and they couldn't have got no chip with Giannis if they take about Draymond Green? That's what y'all really saying? Who you think that will come there that will change the outcome with the rest of this team like this? With Ugaga on the bench, Livingston and all. Who you think would, if they lose Draymond, that y'all tripping? Man. Come on, man. You're doing a little too much, man. But I'm gonna tell you one thing for sure. If the Nets would have lost Martin the first year, they wouldn't have went the second year. And they wouldn't have, if they had lost Martin on the first year when he came in, and then next year when they went to the chip, they wouldn't have went to the chip if Martin would have left the team and went someplace else. Tell me who you think they'd have got at that time that could have went to the chip. And all those people in there was good. It's a situation that was a good fit. That's what they needed. That's right. That was the icing on the cake. That was the icing on the cake. You just happen to run into people like Shaq and them in a thing who's dominating on the West. So you gotta understand there's other people in this game. It's not just about Golden State. They had some issues getting up to those. One year they did it real good, but that wasn't no cakewalk. They battled for that. They had to battle. They had to go through some teams for that. It wasn't no cakewalk. So defense can win a game at the end. If you play defense the whole game and don't worry about offense, you're not going to win. It'll either be a tie score. You need somebody to put some points on there. You need, good as defense as you do, somebody have to be scared of you on offense just as well. This is why Jordan was deadly. This is why Kobe and them was like deadly, because they number one defense and number one offense. These are facts. Those one-sided players is cool. Like Joker, he get the fucking MVP. He's a one-sided player. I never understood that, but it's cool because that's the way the game is played now. So it's cool.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying,
just because you have a great team defense don't mean an individual's great. Because if you have a great offensive player, don't mean that's one of the great offenses.
Yeah.
I feel that. I'm just saying, like, Golden State's success on defense, Draymond Green is the person who's most responsible for
100%.
Okay.
But that's a fact, though. That's his job. You don't even have to say that. You're just saying that to make it seem like he's doing something over playing defense. Now, if he was scoring 20 points, then you'll have a point. You don't have a point when somebody's doing their job. Their job was innovated from defense. It wasn't nobody else that was sitting there and they couldn't make it, and the Draymond came and listen. No, that's not the thing. He's not the key person that came in there and he just changed the whole thing and they went to the chip. No, Kenyon Martin did that. Kenyon Martin came in there and changed the whole thing and went to the chip the next year. That's what you're trying to give Draymond what Kenyon Martin already did. That's what he's trying to explain to y'all. Yo, I'm him. I did that. You trying to act like what I did is what you did. That's not true. You not the leader of the team. Steph is the leader of the team. If he ain't got no fucking defense, you could be the best defensive player in the world. That's Steph's team. Rodman was better defensive player than damn near half of the NBA. That was Jordan's team. It's not that nobody care about defense, because it's a real important part of our basketball. But the way y'all putting it, y'all making defense in front of offense. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. So you telling me you can get somebody, you can get 5 Rodmans and you're going to win a game? How? You people still score 20 on Rodman, 25 on Rodman, but it's just a hard 25 for this one game. Out of 82 games you got to play. If you had to play 82 of Rodman, shit, you crazy. You might be scoring nothing at the end of the 82 games because he have you locked down. By that point, you'll start out with 25. But if you think that's going on for the whole year, you tripping. So this is how the thing goes. It's not like every game. So you run into the like Paul Pitt said, it's some days your coach changed he changed the perspective because he's like, yo, listen, no, we got to play these guys today. So We're not good because I don't want to get you hurt or whatever it is, kicked out the game, whatever it is, because we need you. So we go to the second option. We're going to be easy on you a little bit, man, because we playing these guys. When we playing some other people, oh, shit, everybody, yo, let's go. We're going to get them. Everybody be blowing them out because they ain't got no real strong force of defense. So that's how people look at Draymond in the league. Oh, we got to play Golden State. Fucking Draymond, because he's in everybody's head because he played D, but he played dirty D. Like, he really trying to hurt you. You know what I mean? Dennis Rodman ain't trying to hurt you. You know what I mean? Draymond Green done some shit to some guys. But that's like, I don't know how he should have been kicked out of way more games. He got kicked out of. And Draymond Green, he's not a player that I actually like because he don't have my kind of play style. I came from an era of power forwards that score and got defense. See, that's the era I came from. And the ones that can't put too many points on the board still throw up 8, 10 points because they got defense and they actually get rebounds. And the ones that get rebounds, people talking about rebounds. See, I'm talking about offensive rebounds, like Dennis Rodman. They talking about, he's defensive a rebounding specialist. Let's get it in perspective. He's an offense and a defensive rebound specialist. Let's get it in perspective. Because offensive rebounds mean more than defensive rebounds. Sorry to tell you. So when the defensive rebound, when the team shoot, just in case you think I'm crazy because you want to say something, please put it in the comments. But anyway, when the team shoot, that defensive rebound is basically considered a turnover for the offensive team that shot the ball. That's why an offensive rebound is considered a second chance. 24 more seconds on the clock so we can reset and do it again. That's why Dennis Rodman was so effective opposed to just getting rebounds. That's why he was so effective. So when you get deeper into it and you got to really break it down and stop trying to say something and make it sound so good that you don't want to really give the real story. So when you talk about defense, just think about that. When it comes to rebounds and all that, and this dude, Draymond, get like 8 rebounds because he's so busy with antics. He can actually be better than he is. And he could be the new version of Rodman if he was to get a good game about it. And he's more antics than physical. He do antics, like calculated shit, like a bug, like the bug.
Consistently, especially once Steve Kerr took over, these guys were one of the best defenses in the NBA every year.
They had a great system.
You know what I mean?
You can have a great system.
Yeah, and
I play this.
And understand, I say this thing about when I look at people's videos, true story, and I'm doing the same thing. But to the system, real quick, just make things real simple, man, so you can understand this. Just listen to the names. And if y'all did a little bit of history, y'all can actually understand this. So, Phil Jackson, right? Phil Jackson came down, had Michael Jordan. Remember, Phil Jackson was a brand new coach. He wasn't even coaching. This is a thing he just did. So anyway, he had Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. At first, he had Carlos Grant and them. But we talking about the good of the time right here. This part, I need to say this part to correlate to what I'm trying to get to. The beginning part don't really matter, but it still comes to the same thing. But we can just miss that part. Let's talk about this part with him, Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan, and Scottie Pippen. Kerr was part of some of that, right? So think about it, makes sense. So now, Phil Jackson finished his dynasty, left Chicago, and went to LA. Now let's think about this, y'all. Phil Jackson comes with the triangle offense, right? That's what he's known for, the triangle offense. So he come in the game for the triangle offense. He comes in here, he brings it to LA. Now let's look. He got Kobe, Shaq, and Fisher. And who else they had? They had Oldham at a time. Mason. We had good players. But you got Gasol. Different times. But let's go to Kobe and Shaq and who is that with Who they had with them? What's my man name? And what's that Barnes? Not Matt Barnes. Who the hell was the three? Anyway, my point is, it's not about them. My point is, it's the system. So he used the triangle system at LA successfully. He got his chips, right? I'm just making a point. Now, Phil Jackson is the innovator of this little algorithm that I'm talking about. Everybody else is just parts and players. So he had Jordan, which is considered Jordan. And then he had Kobe, or you can want to say Kobe or Shaq, either one. But I say Kobe because it fits more of Phil game style. That's why he kept telling Kobe to drop it to Shaq, because his triangle start from the top. It is not everybody else played sides, like left side, right side, stack up, drop it to big man, and you play. You know, that's why Paul Pierce said we're gonna come down here and do this every time, because some teams is situated that way with the system. You know what I mean? That they players fit this type of system. So when you can fit the triangle system, so now Phil Jackson succeed over there. Steve Kerr, who's part of Phil Jackson as a player, turns into a sibling, because he comes up out of all these people we talking about. Steve Kerr is the only one to come up to be a coach. So he come up to be a coach and implement parts of the triangle into Golden State, because he got a superstar. He got a superstar look, point guard. And Phil Jackson had a superstar two guard. So it's easy to implement this triangle system with some deters of the day's game. And this is why Golden State is a 3-point team. It fits so well that is crazy. Because your coach is a 3-point specialist that came from a triangle master on offense. So it fits that yo will win chips because y'all got the right components. Look, you got Steph, Clay, Green. You got motherfuckers like Livingston coming off the bench. You got motherfuckers like Andre Iguodala coming off the bench. Like, you got a crew here. And then you got a coach that came under a certain umbrella of a dynasty. And he's not Jordan or Scotty. If he was Jordan or Scotty, Golden State might be playing a little different. So I believe that Kerr was the real, well, besides Phil, but Kerr, when it comes to Golden State, was the real mastermind, like a Professor X. Because he shoot 3-pointers. I used to always wonder why he let Steph Curry shoot these damn threes from damn near about half court. But when they go in, it's like Kerr is a 3-point shooter. That's what Steve Kerr was in there. He was in the corner to shoot 3 points when they go in. As long as they go in, and he had a good rate. You know what I mean? So it correlates. It makes sense of why they play the way they play. Why he got Draymond Green acting just like a Robin. He got a Steph Curry acting just like a Jordan. And he got a Klay Thompson that's acting just like a Scotty on both ends, defense and offense. And then you got Andre Iguodala coming off the bench. Like, who was coming off the bench on Chicago right now? I can't even think. I'd be so caught up in my, but I'll get back to that. But y'all understand what I mean. It just makes sense. So when I was looking at it, I thought they was going to get the dynasty, because the pieces is just so well put together. It's crazy. When you look at it, it's just, so when it comes to, they say, if Rodman wasn't on Chicago, could they win a dynasty? Yeah. Because, see, with Chicago, it came from building blocks. So everybody came there with their specialty. Everybody had their specialty. They already had the cake mix, the cake. They had all that. They had the mix. They had all that. It's just a little special. It's just the icing on the cake. Is these little subs, that's the icing on the cake. Because the cake is done. We can serve it like this, but we put some little icing on it. You know, we can get a Dennis Rodman. You know what I mean? We gonna get a Horace Grant. You know, gotta understand, Chicago done won chips with like people like Bill Wilmington and shit like that. Like, for real. So basketball is really not based on like 5 stars on the court, because I seen 5 stars lose all the time. So they all shooting the ball and everybody want to play. I mean, it is what it is. But when you mix it up, that's when you talk about basketball. That's basketball.
Some great
Listen,
defensive
Waz,
systems.
I think Draymond is a very good defender. He also had really good defensive guys with him. Like, you're discrediting Klay Thompson. You're discrediting.
No, Clay was a dog on defense.
Very good. He was the main guy that's getting most assignments on the wing.
He was guarding the Russell Westbrooks. He was doing all of that. Yeah, I
Even
get that.
Iguodala. You're discrediting Iguodala, who got Finals MVP because he was a defensive guy on LeBron James.
Was a great defender for sure.
You had guys that played like Sean Livingston, Harrison Barnes. They had a good group of like size, athleticism that allowed Steph to be able to guard me in the corner. You know what I'm saying?
So ultimately, you guys are saying that Draymond Green's defensive reputation is overstated.
No, I don't say that. I think he's very good. I don't think he's
not overstated.
Okay. I don't think it's overstated.
I said for this era, it's one of the greatest.
You just think defense is easier in this era?
Yes.
For big men.
Yes, because big men don't post. What I'm saying, if he was in the 90s and 2000s when he switched, they were going to go to that every time down because he was shorter, and you have to guard Duncan and KG and Dirk at that power forward spot on the switch. It'd have been difficult for him. That would have been very difficult.
Sure. Again, everybody uses this argument all the time. If Draymond wasn't with Golden State, with his accolades and resume, and would you hold him to the high that standard you hold him at right now?
I think he would be making all defensive teams no matter where he played. Yeah.
In today's era, because this guy here is trolling, I think. But in today's, we gotta say that in today's era, we looking here at things from back in the day. This is Draymond aside now, and he got some good defensive plays. He got some real good defensive plays. Draymond played like but it's just the game was different. Like, he didn't have to run to the 3-point line back then. He would have to be in the gym because they're gonna body him. 82 games, they're gonna back him down all day. You heard what Paul Pierce said. Every play, when we play y'all, and you got Draymond, that's your power forward, and Dirk is there. Dirk going right to you every time and give him the ball every time. This thing is 7-1. There's nothing you can do with that fade. Every time he's gonna post you. And Dirk's skinny as shit, but Dirk will post you though. He'll post the shit out you though. I'm trying to tell you, post your ass, and don't let him get to that corner or anywhere by that 3, because these are the ones that brought the tall 3s in the game, but they still was posting. Dirk was just so dangerous because he could go from anywhere. Garnett was the same way. Garnett didn't go to the 3-point line. But that 12-foot jumper, that 14-foot jump, he'd drop that all day. Like Ewing. Ewing ain't go to no 3-point line, but that 12-footer, man, he had so many of those motherfuckers. You'd think he was hitting threes. You'd think he's hitting threes because, see, back in the days, motherfuckers had 12-foot, 14-footers. They go to 3 down there, but that was they was already 6'8" with a 14-footer. Cash money, all day, cash money.
100%.
Yeah, man. That's the end of the video, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna give it a little cheer because they was up there tripping. They was up there tripping. You heard me? Tripping out. Man, like Mutombo, man. You can't be serious. This is not happening. It's just not happening, man. This is the people you have to switch off the guard. On the switch, it ain't like today. You have to switch off, and this is your man. Once they switch, they dropping down low. Mutombo is not a scorer, but they have back you down all day long, and we not even go here. Once they switch, this is all day. This is completely all day. This type of shit that Alonzo had to go through. Look at this shit here. This type of, I'm telling you, man, this is like a Manador versus a mouse. For real, for real. But you have people with defense like Alonzo. Defense. I mean, these defensive specialists. These is defensive specialists. Like, these is why I think that these is rim protectors. All right, let me show you something. About some rim protectors. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
I didn't get the rookie hazing
Because of him?
They want all that kicking the ball in the stadium and go get donuts. None of that. Kmart was not going, and I was a rookie right there. So if he ain't got to do it, I ain't got to do it.
Yeah.
That kind of stepped your game.
Oh man, what? Kmart said we ain't got to do that. Y'all gonna take up that I ain't gonna get no donuts. Kmart said I ain't got to do it. Y'all go take that.
Like, I just had the mentality, man, like ain't no grown man gonna make me do nothing. Listen, I wasn't 19 when I came in. I wasn't 18 when I got drafted. I was 22. Strong as an ox.
Yeah, that's what we was on, though.
3% body fat. I was, listen, dog, I'm not doing it. You ain't making me. If I want to buy donuts, I'm going to do it on my own terms.
Yeah.
If I want to help the manager with the bags, I'm going to help them because out of the kindness of my heart.
Yeah, not because I'm being told to.
No, not at all. You're not going to.
Who was on this team? Who was on this team?
Kendall Gill.
Johnny Newman, Sherman Douglas.
We had some solid vets.
Lucius.
Steph Lucius.
Yeah, it was the dudes on the, like, real vets. But I told them, I ain't doing, listen, man, I ain't doing nothing.
Oh.
That's how it was, man. That's how it was. And that's why, this is why Steven Jackson was on some bullshit the way he was on it, because this is, you know what I mean? He like, man, and you seen him later on in his career, he was like, man, y'all tripping, man. I ain't doing none of that. Jax wasn't playing none of that. He wasn't going for none of that, man. Come on, man. You had to run into people, man. Yo, listen, the Admiral. You understand what I mean? The Admiral. True story, though. These people that you had to play against, man. You talking about day in and day out. I'm talking about these are different teams. These are day in and day out. You can't get away from them. Every game, you're going to run into somebody like a Ben Wallace. Like, you got to understand this. This shit was so for real. This is why every game used to be so good. Like, every game, you used to watch the NBA. Like, people used to watch the NBA. For real. When it was this right here, we used to watch the NBA. There's no telling what's going on. Fights, there's no telling. But it's all this competition. It's all adrenaline running. You had to run into Dwight Howard when he was Dwight Howard. True story, though. These are real rim protectors. Facts. You get what I'm saying? These is facts. These are real rim protectors, man. You know what I mean? If you don't know what a rim protector is, my man K. Martin will let you know what a rim protector is. You feel me? 100%. 100%. Let me see something. Let me see if this the one. You heard me? Let me see if this is the one.
Really have a bounty on a Kobe.
That's a strong word, man.
Yeah, and like it wasn't necessarily. It's like we wasn't like paying Dante to hurt him or no shit. Like, no shit like that, man. Like, no, it was no layups at a certain point, man. He's so good and talented. Like, we had to do something to offset it, and that didn't do nothing but piss him off even more. Like, if you being honest, like, it didn't do nothing but like make him want to beat us even more than how we were. Like, there's a clip out there, him and Melo, like, they're in the post.
Wrestling.
Like, they going at it. Like, I'm like, yo, because Melo, like, let me guard, because, you know, I'm trying to guard him, take it, so it was late in the game, and, like, they're not going to call a foul on me, which was smart of Melo, to a sense, like, let me guard him, y'all do, because they was going at it. I'm just like, God damn. Like, let me try to stop you from getting the ball that way. It's going to be immediately. But now Tay took the challenge and he did the best. I'm saying we tried to implement, man. Like, no, he was it was tough sledding. I'm saying for the man, but no, it was Western Conference Finals, dog.
Yeah, it was real, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. The fouls was real, the game was real. You know what I mean? It was just like that, man. But you had people like Tim, like you listen on me. Like, I'm trying to tell you, man, this is out of control. This is out of control. This type of people was in the league, man. Like, it was crazy. This is a crazy ass era, man. It's a crazy era of basketball, B. I'm telling you, man. It's Nutville time. This is Nutville time, man. I'm telling you. You had to run into people like Timmy. This is every day, in and out. This is in and out. I can't make this shit up, man. This is in and out every day. Penny. You look at Penny. Yo, we talking about a 6'8" point guard, 6'9". Yeah, like a Magic. Come on, man. Yo, this shit was real, y'all. Y'all got to look at these games and see could Penny last in this era. Is you fucking serious? Penny will dominate right now, man. This is a 6'9" point guard. He'll dominate. And y'all don't post. Penny will post you so fast it don't make no damn sense. This nigga's 6'9". point guard, like the truth, man. Y'all be wilding, man. Nah, this is crazy. I don't even understand how we even going through this shit. This don't make no sense though. It's 100% facts. You talking about Penny Hardaway? This is one of he was considered the next Jordan. Penny had bobblehead dolls, sneakers, all. Yo, Penny? Okay, but it was rough though, man. Look at this shit. Look at Starks. Look at Starks. Look, Scotty. This is what he do. But you had to at least go for the ball. You see the ball there? You had to at least like you had to at least make it like you're going for the ball. So there's a lot of skills with this, with fouling back then. You could get away with this type of shit, but you had to go for the ball, so it'd be a foul. But in today's time, you'd be done for about a month. They take about 500,000 from you. You won't be able to play 5 games. Boy, listen. If you know, you know. Yo, if you know, man. Can you imagine motherfuckers like this in the league? Together? I'm talking about different teams. This is the beauty in basketball, man. Going at it like this. This is the beauty. You had to face Tim on the West. Oh my God, we gotta go to the West. You gotta come to the East and play with this guy and this guy. When he was on Orlando, you heard me? Look at this here, man. This don't make no sense, man. This is the league. This is the league. Then you running over here. This is when they was on the teams, man. You know what I mean? You might be coming down here on the East Coast. You coming on the West Coast. This is Shaq was on the East Coast this time, but this is the West. This the West. Smart. Can you imagine this shit, Smart? Can you imagine these two guys on the same damn team? Seriously, y'all. Can you imagine this? Look at this. You talking about greatness. This is a 5-time NBA finalist here, man. This is Timmy, Mr. Fundamental. At his best. That's Mr. Fundamental. And then you got the Admiral. Lord have mercy. Man, you talking about basketball. You running the matches like this. You got, man, listen, that's when that boy was in. Yeah, this when Shaq was running up and down the court. You know, grabbing rebounds, going coast to coast. Breaking backboards, bringing it. Yo, listen, homie, y'all gotta stop today, man. This get crazy. This get real crazy. Y'all just be talking crazy. And then you got this boy here. He came right behind Shaq, you heard me? But believe it or not, Dwight Howard was really good at a point. Believe it or not. He man, listen, I'm telling you, he came right behind Shaq, doing everything Shaq was doing, Superman and all that. Yo, that's why if y'all don't know, that's why Shaq will be talking about him to the day. Then they got friends, I guess, but this one here came out of nowhere. That boy came out of nowhere. That boy there came out of nowhere. How you gonna say that boy there came out of nowhere, player? I'm telling you, and he shocked the shit out the NBA. Man, they had a team, man. They had him, they had Rip, Chauncey. Oh my God, they had Tayshaun. Man, y'all don't understand. I don't think y'all know basketball the way y'all think y'all do. To be 100% honest with y'all, I don't think y'all know basketball the way y'all think y'all do, man, because you got players, man. Listen, man, I'm talking about like this from college. See, he's like a Kenyon Martin. They came from college like this. NBA bound. Like NBA bound. What the fuck holding me up? I'm ready to go. If it wasn't for injuries, man, yo, boy, you talking about some records to break. Y'all would have some real records to break today if it wasn't for injuries. See, y'all getting these records because y'all playing like on a soft pace, and you're still trying to break these records to the day. But the game is different, so it's not like it was. If y'all score 30 points, y'all might go to the party tonight and all that. But the 30 points back in the days, they had to go ice up because they got to get ready for the next day. They got another game against. They just played David Robinson and they back over here playing Detroit. Like, this shit is crazy. They ain't going over there playing Houston and then coming back over here. Houston would But I'm talking about not even with Mutombo, with an Olajuwon and Otis Thorpe and the Willis, Kevin Willis is, man, y'all serious. Then they got to come back to the East Coast and play Indiana with the Davis twins and the Rick Smiths of the game and Reggie Millers and the Mark Jack. Y'all is tripping. They is tripping. People is tripping today in the NBA. They tripping about the NBA. They tripping today about the NBA. Straight up, y'all tripping. I'm telling y'all is tripping. Look at this here. Look at Oakland. In the morning. Yo, they hate each other. Look. Look at it. Yo, this shit used to be out of whack, man. Like, they be bugging out, man. Look at Isaiah. On who that, Jordan? Yep. And who that? Rodman. See, that's when Rodman was with Detroit. That's oh God, damn, I can't get it. Look at these motherfuckers, man. This is what they did to Jordan. And then he became a champion based on this type of shit. You know, based on that. That's how he became a champion, based on that type of aggression. And that's why Jordan's whole objective was to get these niggas. Like, I'm getting y'all back. Y'all think I'm playing with y'all. Y'all not going to treat me like that. No way in the world. It's not a way in 13 states I'm going to allow y'all to do nothing like that. Not to the kid. To me, y'all tripping. Y'all going crazy. Y'all know who I am? I am Michael Jeffrey Jordan, player. And we don't do that. How they say? We don't do that, player. We don't do that. We respect the king around here. You heard me? That's what we do on this side of town. We respect shit. We don't be doing that nut ass shit y'all be doing. Disrespecting things that's going on. You understand what I'm saying? We respect things over here, bro. Come over with that nut ass shit, bro. We respect things over here, bro. We ain't with that nut ass shit y'all niggas on. We respect it over here, kid. So it make you say, nah. It make you say, It make you say, nah. But peace to the peoples. You heard me? I'm signing off, man. Keeping it easy. Keeping it easy. Keeping it, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Keeping it, you know what I mean? So I say I'm keeping it, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, because they tripped out. That's on the oh boy. I can't do it because I can't find it, y'all. I can't find it. Don't worry about it. But it's all gonna be good though, player, because love is love in the air. That's all I say. Love is love in the air. And let's not get it twisted when we talking about this basketball, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Let's just keep it 100. And let everybody know, man, like, you know, the way it really is. Because this is how it is, man. You know, it's different times. You can't really put your finger on it because I don't know, you can't really tell, man. Today's time is completely different than before, and it would just never be the same. Basketball would just never be the way it was. It would just never be that way again. So it's one of those things that if you experienced it, then listen, you should be happy. I ain't gonna hold you, because that means that you experienced some good shit. You know what I mean? So back to the basics and all the ducks. You understand what I'm saying? It's how we do, player. You got nothing but love for your player. I got nothing but love. Look at this is deep here, kid. But not for nothing though. All these players are some good players. Draymond Green, Kenyon Martin, and everybody, man. We all got our places to our parts to play. We got jobs, we got roles, you know what I mean? And how you let Draymond tell it, I don't know what the hell is that. We swing players, people that swing a series. I mean, it's cute, but okay, cool. I get that. But other than that, love is love, and we gonna keep it 100, like we always do on Oster 40. And I need some comments and shit like that, man. So I wanted to make sure, see how people feel. What I mean, I'm trying to not be biased and just trying to detail and show the proper picture. And if sometimes people just do their due diligence and just, go look at some videos, and then you can understand what we're saying. You can be like, oh, they don't mean that he's not good. So you'll be able to understand it. You know that we're not hating, and things like that. We're not like hating on nobody. It's not that. It's just that the game was significantly different. That's Charlie Ward, PJ Brown. He's great. I can't see who this is. It's some nut times, man. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying, man. So just, keep it 100. Let's do our due diligence. Let's respect all the players. Everybody. Need some damn good defensive players, y'all. Oh, y'all, man. And then, we call it a day, man. So peace it out. Nothing but love for my people. You know what I mean? Nothing but love for my people, man. And we keep it safe. Peace. Oster 40. I'm out.